Welcome to Tea Time with Dr. K, where we share stories that inspire transformation, celebrate victories, and dive deep into the journey of health and wellness. Grab your tea and let's build a better you, one conversation at a time. Hi, everyone. This is Dr. Korous, and thank you again for joining us for another episode of Tea Time with Dr. K. We have a very special guest here today. His name is Jay.
Hi.
Jay, thank you so much for joining us. I really appreciate it.
How are you doing? Thank
Good.
you for having me.
Of
It's a
course.
pleasure.
Of
Part is a pleasure.
Thank you. The pleasure is all mine. So we're going to talk about how we actually met to begin with
Yes.
and how he ended up being a patient of my practice. So Jay, do you remember the very first time we met at an event? Do you remember the name of the event?
Yes. I think it was Aspire.
Aspirement.
Yeah.
Was it?
You and your sister. I met both of you
Yeah, Parisa.
at the same time. Yes.
Yes.
Yes. And Parisa taught me did that blink
The
to
blink.
put it on my phone so that I could get people's contact information.
That's true.
If I tried doing that myself, it might have taken me a year and a day to do it, but she did it in 5 minutes. So I'll never forget that.
That's right. It was a fun event. It was a real estate event with
Dan Flashman, isn't it?
yeah, and then it was Vina on the stage, and then
Remember Pace Morby?
Paige Morby, yes, a real estate guru as well.
Yeah.
So
It was a big event. There were a lot of
big
people
event.
there. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. We met a lot of people too, and then from there, I ended up talking with Vina because he introduced me to Vina, your daughter, and she says, "Oh, we live in Frisco." I was like, "How convenient!" And then we ended up, realizing we only live like 3-4 minutes from each other. So
The subdivision over. Yeah.
the next time we did it over. That's true. And then I think it was an event that I attended for your daughters, right? Remember for Vina? It was the mastermind in San
Yeah,
Diego.
that was in San Diego. Yes.
Yes.
Yeah, we were all there. Yeah, we were all there that time. It was wonderful. Yeah.
It was a wonderful event. And then I think she has it like once a year. That was the first event, right?
Maybe more than once a year, but I'm not sure. But I think that was the first one she
That
was
was the
having.
first.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was wonderful. Yeah.
What do you remember from the event?
Oh, meeting all the wonderful people, you included.
Thank you.
Plus, we used to do that community walk in the mornings,
Yeah,
where I used to try and make people practice elevator pitches.
that's right.
And
6 o'clock in the morning. He goes, if everybody wants to get a workout done, make sure you're downstairs by 6 o'clock in the
in the
morning.
morning. And we'd go for about a couple, 3 miles.
Yeah.
And it would be fun to have people do the elevator pitches, and I'd give them a few pointers about what could be improved, why it is important to have one of these things.
That's right.
Yeah, I gave some examples of how I did it, and it was useful.
And I'm going to tell you something, guys. Jay here is not shy at all. Like if it wasn't good, he was like, "No, that's not good enough. We want to go again."
Right. Yeah, because if you sugarcoat it, they're not going to get the full benefit of it because they're going to pitch someone else.
Yeah.
They can pitch me all day long. I am retired. I'm not going to be buying anything or doing anything like that. So it's good for them to do that so that when they come across a situation where they got just 2 minutes with someone,
Yeah.
they can give that condensed version without going through the whole spiel. And that person's interested enough to say, maybe you can come back later and meet up with me. So
And you know what he means by elevator pitch is like, so Jay and his daughter and his family are in real estate. So they raise big capitals for, buying multifamily units. I'm talking about like 200 and above units, And so he's talking about like when they raise in capital or the multiple people involved who raise the capital, what is the elevator pitch for what property? How do you say it? And we're talking about 30-second to 1 minute elevator
that's
pitch.
it, maximum a minute.
Maximum.
That is, in other words, if you're getting on the ground floor with the person you're trying to pitch to,
Yeah.
by the time he reaches his office, and these type of people are usually in the top floor,
Yeah.
you got maybe a minute. And in that minute, you got to convince him, hey, this is why you should speak to me.
Yeah.
Because I have something that's exciting for you.
Yeah.
It's not easy because you don't know the person, you don't know the person's personality, you don't know
Anything about them.
Yeah, you don't know much, but if you are smart, you do a little bit of research about the person.
That's right.
And then just go into this thing.
That's
Don't ask him about his golf game, or don't ask her about the latest show she went to or something like that. That's not needed. Yeah. In fact, that you don't have time for that. You got to get into it.
That's true.
It's an art. You got to practice, and practice makes perfect as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that we learned at the event is like, playing Monopoly and then buying and selling properties, which was very exciting because, and what I learned a lot in that is like who you also invest with is really, really important because how they're investing your money and how they're giving you a return of investment, especially if you actually invest in multiple people, it's really important who you are. So I learned a lot from that game. Even though it was a game, I learned a lot.
But it was a game that was trying to stimulate reality in some ways. So that did help. A lot of people, the feedback we got from got was excellent. That really was fun, but at the same time, there was a real serious platform on which you're taught doing this. It was really interesting. Yeah.
And then we want to talk about there was a charity that was really dear to your heart.
Yes.
So do you want to tell the audience a little bit about what the charity is all about?
I'd love to. A bunch of my undergraduate classmates, all of us are in our 70s and we are retired now. And these guys, ever since they retired, they have been running this school for underprivileged children in India. And it's called Bala Mandir. And
Is it called?
It's called Bala Mandir.
Bala Mandir.
Yeah, young people's house pretty much. And it takes about $250 for them to support a student for 1 year. That's all it costs. So it's kind of small. None of them take any compensation. The overhead is minimal. And they have been teaching children right from kindergarten through 12. And in fact, some of them, they're sponsored going into college. And a lot of them have become really successful people after that.
That's awesome.
And this entirely selfless work that they do. And we are always, like any other charity, looking for money. So while we were in San Diego, there was going to be a cruise, a dinner cruise, a few people, including the winners of this charity. And we had an auction for the seat. And
that was fun, right?
Yeah, Dunia and it was Erica, right?
Yeah.
They started bidding against each other and it went to quite a high amount of money, a really nice amount. And Dunia won that. And then I told my daughter, hey, I will drop out of the cruise if Erica will, give the same amount as you bid. Yeah. And she readily agreed, saying, I will pay the same thing. So I dropped out and took all the other people who were bidding for dinner while you guys went on the cruise.
So sweet.
And when I told my classmates how we raised this money, they were in awe. They were shocked. And they were really thankful. They really needed money at that time.
Oh, that's
so
awesome.
we raised quite a lot of money. I think about $10,000 or $12,000 that day. That was nice.
Yeah,
so thank you very much.
Of course, it was
a big heart you had.
I think more important was the spirit in that room, and when I saw you emotional, I even got emotional myself because when you're giving in the spirit of like helping the kids who are underprivileged and don't have really anybody around them to take care of them, it was in that spirit that really pushed me forward to do it.
If you're ever in Chennai, I can arrange for you to go and see that school. You'd be amazed. These are kids who are from families that hardly make maybe $200 a month.
Wow.
But yet in the school, they have the latest of everything.
Wow.
That's the pledge that we have taken to provide them things that will not make them feel like they're being just given something just to say we did it, but to give them a solid educational foundation so that they become productive members of society, and someday they do the same thing for someone else. Pay it forward. So it's working. They've been doing this. This charity has been in existence well before all of us were even born. It's a 75 or 80-year-old charity.
Wow.
And this generation had taken it over, and now I'm sure there'll be new younger graduates, alumni from the Indian Institute of Technology who will start getting into it. So,
I was very dear to him, and I appreciate you just bringing it up because he gave us the opportunity to kind of contribute to a great cause.
No, thank you. Thank you for being so supportive.
Of course.
It's important to know people are so generous. It's really nice.
Yes. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to do this.
Oh, yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you.
So, Jay, now tell me, what made you decide to come and see me as a patient? I know.
I chipped my front tooth, and I assure you, I didn't chip it because I went and boxed with Mike Tyson or something like that. I just chipped it. I don't know how. I bit into something I probably shouldn't have bitten, and I chipped my front teeth. And immediately I called her, and she was kind enough to see me the next day, and you fixed it.
Yeah.
And my smile is back again. Yeah.
It's beautiful. Don't bite down on anything harder or force.
And that really was a big help that you were there. So thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And I tell you one thing, that was dentistry without pain. Usually dentists Like, you've heard the saying, oh, yeah, like getting a root canal.
Yeah.
If the pain involved is this minimal, I wouldn't mind getting a root canal any day.
Oh my gosh! I hope you don't need any root canal. I hope everybody dentistry is very minimal. I mean, they take care of their teeth well.
It didn't hurt at all. So thank you for that. I appreciate it. Yeah.
And then, if I may ask, what was your experience on my practice with the team?
Oh my gosh!
With
your team is amazing. Absolutely amazing. They're so friendly, warm. They made me feel like a part of the family more than just coming in as a patient.
Yeah.
It was wonderful. So thank you so much. You have done a great job putting this team together. And even more impressive, or equally impressive, I should say, is this office, the practice.
Thank you.
I have never seen something like this. Wouldn't be surprised if some movie producer wants to shoot a scene in this.
Oh my
it is so well done. And
Thank you.
It's important because, you want a patient to feel comfortable when they come in.
I don't want it to smell like a dental office.
Yeah, it smells like a really nice, warm, comforting place.
Exactly.
I really think you have hit it out of the ballpark.
Thank you so much.
Wonderful, yeah.
Appreciate it. And then one more thing I was going to ask you. I know you were IT, right?
Yes.
And so can you tell me a little bit how you lived your career, and then what advice or wisdom do you have for our audience, just going through the journey of life, and what they can do to get the best out of it? Because I know you're retired and you're enjoying life, but he's still working because, this guy doesn't sit down and relax. He's always constantly, even at the event, he's like working. He's there with everybody talking, making connection and things like that. So tell me how you stay so active, so optimistic, so positive, even though he's retired.
Yeah. Retirement is just a stage in life.
Yeah, stage in life, I know.
As far as my background is concerned, I have a PhD in engineering from the Korous School of Mines.
Yeah.
And finished that. I got a job with a Fortune 500 chemical company.
Yeah.
So that job was in line with what I was trained for. And I did that for about 15 years. And then one of my friends from my master's days, I've known him for a long, long time. He called me and said he's got venture capital to start this IT company.
Yeah.
And he wanted to know whether I wanted to come and help him grow that.
Yeah.
So I went from I think at that time it was a $2 billion company. And I started in research at that company. I then went to marketing and sales, and it was a global job. I used to run around the whole world. So when Bhaskar called me, I said, sure. And I jumped. So it was a big risk, I went to a maybe 10-person organization.
Yeah.
And we grew that to, I don't know, somewhere between around 150, 200 people. We grew that.
Yeah.
And then I decided to retire. Now.
After how many years?
Wow, another 15 years.
Another 15 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that was a learning experience, because when you're in a small company, you have to do everything yourself.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
You have to learn how to do marketing brochures, everything.
Yes.
There is nobody, you don't want to spend money on having more people to do these type of jobs.
That's true.
So we just did it ourselves. We learned how to do strategic planning, sales planning, compensation, HR, everything, and everything in between we learned how to do. And it was a lot of fun. But there comes a time when you realize you have to retire and enjoy life in a different way.
Yeah.
And that's when one day I woke up, and this was not, I had a long-term plan of retiring, but then one day I woke up and I said, both my daughters are married.
Yes.
And working is not everything in life. So I told my wife, honey, end of the month, I'm going to retire. This was March 1st, 2016. And she said, what? That's right. She was thinking I'll be that annoying cat that trips somebody going down the stairs. And she said, you can't retire that. I said, no, I'm going to end of the month. And then I called my friend Bhaskar and told, he also said the same thing. What, you're going to retire? No, I thought you'll work for a few more years. But they were really nice to me.
Yes.
That company was excellent. They sent us on a cruise for a 2-week cruise to the Caribbean. And I had the company phone for 3-4 years. And I also told Sanch, who was the CTO, and she also married Bhaskar and Sanch, husband and wife team. Escalation of customer problems was to me. So I used to say, okay, if they call, I'll have.
I know call.
So it was a wonderful thing. And I have good memories of both jobs I had.
Yes.
An excellent time. But now I enjoy my life. I enjoy travel. I enjoy the grandkids. We got 4 grandkids.
Nice.
2 here in the same neighborhood. We all live in the same neighborhood. And the other 2 are in Atlanta. So we get to see them once every 4-6 weeks. So it's just the perfect life.
That's awesome.
I paid my dues to get to this point, and I'm glad
You
to give
just
that
enjoy-
responsibility anyway. I just enjoy. I exercise a lot. I go to the gym, speak to people. I love talking to people, as you know.
Yes, you do. You do.
Yeah.
He's definitely a talkative person.
Yeah. It's-
Any advice or a word of wisdom that you have for anyone just, going through life?
I keep telling young people, the first thing you got to learn is you are only as good as what the employer sees in you, right?
Yes.
Needs of an employer keep changing. So don't be static. Don't think that gravity acts downwards. So that's the only thing I'm going to learn.
Yes.
Keep learning. And today's day and age, you can learn all the time. It's easy.
Yes.
Right? There is so much information out there
Yes.
that you can learn. So continuously learn things, learn new things, be curious about things. And that will make sure that you're always employable, right? And that's the long-term strategic goal you should have. And from day one, from the first day you work, plan on retirement. Believe me, 30 years flies before you know it.
That's
So
true.
from there, save some money, right? Spend money, have fun, but always pay yourself first, because you need that money. Social security or whatever those things are not going to pay the bills at the end of the day. You're lucky if it's going to be there.
Yes.
So financially plan. I think in this country we have a lack of education about financial planning.
Yes.
Right? So if you're a young person, you can go to the internet. There's so many things you can read up that tell you how to plan things.
Yes.
And just do that. But always be looking at all the new things coming. For example, AI. This was not even a buzzword when I was in engineering school. Look at it. It's taken over the world now. I have friends, even though they're 70, they've become experts in AI, which means they're continuously learning.
That's true.
Right? And they are helping some younger folks, they're mentoring them how to in startups and things like that.
It's incredible.
Yeah, it's incredible. And that's going to be the word of the future.
Yes, true.
Yeah, you have to be a person that an employer needs. Rather than you needing a job, they must be coming to you and saying, hey, I need you.
Yes.
When can you start?
That's right.
Salary will be irrelevant if you have the right skills at that
That's
point.
true.
Yeah. That's my best advice to all the young people. And always be happy about things. Don't look at all the negative things. A million people will tell negative things.
Yeah.
The only obstacles you're going to face are the ones you put in your path.
That's right.
If you believe in yourself, you will figure a way around it.
That's right.
Yeah, there is no doubt in my mind you can always figure a way around it.
Yeah.
And yes, sometimes there'll be low points, but those are just blips. It's going to go past.
That's right. Well, thank you so much, Jay. I so appreciate you for coming on our podcast, for your words of wisdom. Be employable, learn new things, and always be in a state of learning to have a positive, great attitude.
Yes, absolutely. That positive attitude is
He's
something that
very much like that himself, all day, every day, every time that I meet him.
Yeah.
So, again, thank you so much.
Thank you for inviting me. It's been a pleasure.
Of course.
Yeah.
And I know you have an Instagram following.
Yes.
Can you tell us what your Instagram is so that they can actually follow you as well?
It is the J Pops.
The J Pops. The J Pops.
P-O-P-S.
P-O-P-S.
Yeah, J
So
Pops. Yeah.
do follow him. And he has grown a following the past 1 year.
Yeah, but I've got about 61,000 followers.
61,000 followers.
I mean,
He knows how to do it. He has to teach me how to do that.
I got on this because my daughter set up an account.
Yeah.
And at that time, she had about 30,000 followers. And she said, Dad, here you can have fun. So then I met a person called Dan Fleischman, I think his name. He's now helping Veena. And I asked him, I said, Dan, what do you post? How do you know what is the right thing to post? He says, post whatever you want. Some people will like it, some people won't.
Yeah.
That's their problem. So I've been consistently every day I post at least 4 things. More than 4 I feel is too much.
Yeah.
And I get, being retired, I've got enough retired friends who have nothing else to do but sending all this stuff up and down.
Yeah.
So something funny, something serious, something's about health. But I always try to have at least one humorous thing in the whole.
That's
right?
awesome.
And I posted and it's been slowly growing like this. And I appreciate
Slowly growing. I mean, to 61,000 in 1 year. I can see the slow growth.
And people have told me, "Hey, what are your plans?" And I said, "Nothing. I'm just going to keep doing this. If I grow, it's great. It's I am happy that there are people following me, and I'm hoping that they're getting something out of that.
Yes.
So,
Yeah. Entertainment more than anything else.
yeah, it's entertainment more than anything else. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, thank you so much, Jay.
So much.
I appreciate you for coming here on a Friday.
My pleasure. I'm retired. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, all the same.
Well, I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you again for joining us for another episode of Tea Time with Dr. K. And I appreciate you, Jay, one more time for being in our podcast. And then, in real estate, and then your Instagram, and then becoming a patient, and you're talking about the experience that we had in our practice. And hope to see you soon.
Thank you.
Thank you
Appreciate
so
you
much.
calling me.
Thank you.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye.